الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على مولانا رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه ومن والاه. My dear brothers, my dear sisters, my dear loved ones, the Prophet ﷺ, he was sent for many purposes, amongst which he was sent to perfect the good behavior, to perfect the morals of the people, to change the way we as human beings behave, to change the way the Muslim should behave. And the Prophet ﷺ, he focused on the person more than he focused on the group. He focused on each and every one. He focused on the individual more than he focused on the group. Why? And more than he focused on the community. Why? Because by having the individuals changing for the better, by improving the individual, as a result, the group will change. As a result, the nation, the community can only benefit from that. Because the nation and the community is nothing else but a group of people. A community is nothing else but the individuals who are part of that community. And the Prophet ﷺ, he tried his best to convey a message to us, to say that we need to change our behavior. We need to change our morals, our characters. And let me just give you the number of the hadiths in which the Prophet ﷺ, he talks about the characters. He talks about the behavior. And before that, as you have noticed in these last khutbah, the more we come towards Ramadan, the more closer we get to Ramadan, the more topics are related to Ramadan. Why? Because we as Muslims need to benefit from Ramadan. But in order to benefit from Ramadan, we need to change ourselves. We need to change our behavior. We need to change our intentions. We need to repent to Lord. So there are a lot of topics, there are a lot of areas on which we need to be focusing in order to benefit really from Ramadan. In order to truly benefit from Ramadan, you can't live before Ramadan in the same way as you're living your life outside of it and then expect something that is going to be magical during the month of Ramadan. Ramadan is a month that we need to prepare for. Ramadan is a month that we need to purify our hearts for. So the Prophet ﷺ, let's go back to our topic, which is our topic about the best behavior and the good character and the good morals. The Prophet ﷺ, the number of the hadiths in which he has mentioned that one of his purpose of being sent as a prophet and messenger is إِنَّمَا بُعِثْتُ لِأُتَمِّمَ مَكَارِمَ الْأَخْلَاقِ. I have been sent. Prophet ﷺ is explaining the reason of him being sent to this community. I have been sent for a reason. Somebody might say, or somebody might think that the Prophet is going to say, in order for you to pray and to worship your Lord as much as you can. Prophet ﷺ didn't mention that. Yes, that is important. And that the emphasis on that is put elsewhere. But in this hadith specifically, the Prophet ﷺ, what he said is إِنَّمَا بُعِثْتُ لِأُتَمِّمَ مَكَارِمَ الْأَخْلَاقِ, to perfect the good behavior, so that you change your behavior, so that you change your character. And as I say, there are numerous hadiths talking about the impact of the character on the Muslim, or that the Prophet ﷺ wants to see a good character in this community, wants to see a good character in each and every individual that is part of this community. Prophet ﷺ, for instance, he said, Inna min khiyarikum. And listen to it, because this is not something that is said there in vain. The Prophet ﷺ, when he used this expression, that the best amongst you, it really means the best amongst you. The Prophet ﷺ, when he says something, he genuinely says it. Prophet ﷺ, what he said is, Inna min khiyarikum. The best amongst you are the ones who have the best behavior. Prophet ﷺ, he didn't again mention that the best amongst you are the ones who are worshipping their Lord throughout the night. The ones doing this, the ones doing this. He chose to put the emphasis here on the good behavior, the good morals, the good character. In another hadith, the Prophet ﷺ, he said, أَكْمَلُ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ إِيمَانًا أَحْسَنُهُمْ خُلُقًا. The believer who shows the most perfect faith is the one who shows the most perfect behavior. In another hadith, the Prophet ﷺ, and now it's turning more towards akhirah, turning more towards when you need that maybe that one single hasana to be the bridge between you and the hellfire. When you need maybe to see your balance being heavy, The Prophet ﷺ, he said, ما من شيء أو ما شيء أثقل في ميزان المؤمن يوم القيامة من خلق حسن. There is nothing that is heaviest on the balance of the believer in the day of the hereafter from a good behavior, from a good character. And whenever we talk about this topic, so many people, they think that whatever we have been brought upon in our infancy, in our childhood, is the character that we show for the rest of our life. And we cannot change it. So many people, they think when we start about talking about change in the character, in the behavior, so many people, they think that we are born with those characters and we just grow up with them and there's no way we can change them. And this is a wrong understanding. This is truly a misunderstanding. Why? Because if that's the case, then why the Prophet ﷺ would ask you to change your behavior? His words would be vain. If you cannot change your behavior, and the Prophet knows it already, why he would be asking you, my dear brother, my dear sister, to change your behavior? He only asked you to put effort in your behavior, to change yourself to the better, because it is something that is within your reach. It is something that is achievable. Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, one day he was speaking to one of the companions, a companion that we really need to take from his good character. We need to take him as an example. Prophet ﷺ, he told him, إِنَّ فِيكَ لَخَصْلَتَانِ يُحِبُّهُمَ اللَّهُ وَرَسُولُهُ. There are two characters in you that Allah and His Messenger loves. And imagine Allah Azza wa Jal loves what is in you. الحلم والأناه. الحلم والأناه. The clemency and the tolerance. Yet the Prophet ﷺ, when he talked about the tolerance, what he said? إِنَّمَا الْعِلْمُ بِالتَّعَلُّمِ. You get the knowledge by making the effort to get the knowledge. You increase your knowledge by trying to learn that knowledge. It doesn't come between a day and the night. In the same way, you change your behavior by working on yourself. You change your behavior by working on your bad characters, trying to change them to the better. Prophet ﷺ, he said, إِنَّمَا الْعِلْمُ. You increase your knowledge بِالتَّعَلُّمِ, by learning. وَإِنَّمَا الْحِلْمُ بِالتَّحَلُّمِ. And you increase your tolerance. You change yourself to be a tolerant person by trying as best as you can to be tolerant, by educating yourself on that behavior. And let me just finish by saying that Ramadan is the opportunity for you and myself to adopt ourselves, to change our behavior. Why? Outside Ramadan, we eat the way we want. We don't have any constraint. We drink the way we want. There is no constraint in our life. And yet, when Ramadan comes, you know that Allah Azza wa Jal has forbidden on you eating and drinking during the day, and you stop. You refrain from eating and drinking. Why? Because you don't want to commit something that Allah Azza wa Jal doesn't love. You don't want to be a sinful person. Think about your behavior in the same manner. Think about, why do you stop eating and drinking from the first place? Because you want really, truly to be considered one of the servants of Allah Azza wa Jal, who is committing what who is doing what Allah Azza wa Jal asked him to do. In the same way, change your behavior to please your Lord in the month of Ramadan. Take the month of Ramadan as an opportunity to introduce that change in life, a change that may have its impact outside the month of Ramadan. Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, he is warning us really from just refraining from the food and drink, from misunderstanding the reason why Ramadan is there. Ramadan is not there just so that we can stop eating, we can put our drinks aside. No, so that we can change and all the bad behaviors, all the bad characters, everything that is wrong within our life, we take the opportunity of Ramadan to put it aside. The Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, he said, مَنْ لَمْ يَدَعْ قَوْلَ الزُّورِ وَالْعَمَلَ بِهِ فَلَيْسَ لِلَّهِ حَاجَةٌ فِي أَنْ يَدَعَ طَعَامَهُ وَشَرَابَهُ. The one who doesn't issue from or refrain from saying lies and behaving in that manner, there's no need for Allah for him to put aside his food or drink. So my dear brothers, take this opportunity really to review yourselves, to review your behavior. Try to change yourselves. And do not take this excuse that I cannot change. You can change. You truly and definitely can change. If you want to change, you are going to achieve that. صلى الله عليه وسلم العظيم أن ينفعنا بما سمعنا وأن يعلمنا ما ينفعنا إنه لذلك القادر عليه. اللهم أصلح لنا ديننا الذي هو عصمة أمرنا وأصلح لنا دنيانا التي فيها معاشنا وأصلح لنا آخرتنا التي إليها معادنا، واجعل الحياة زيادة لنا في كل خير والموت راحة لنا من كل شر. اللهم إنا نسألك الهدى والتقى والعفاف والغنى. اللهم اغننا بحلالك عن حرامك وبفضلك عمن سواك يا رب العالمين يا أكرم الأكرمين. عباد الله، إن الله يأمر بالعدل والإحسان وإيتاء ذي القربى وينهى عن الفحشاء والمنكر والبغي يعظكم لعلكم تذكرون. وقوموا إلى صلاتكم يرحمني ويرحمكم الله.